corner's gone. Amazing. That was the one right there. Yeah.
Well, since March.
Yeah, and I wasn't here for the March meeting, so.
Well, look at you. Like, I set up and everything, didn't even notice. That's hilarious. I guess. Oh. So, which, I know you have people, so are you working any of them?
I work for every, like, for the weekends that have 4 proms, I work 1. So like this weekend, we have Rancho Santa Margarita, Glendora, and then North Hollywood and Burbank. So I'm doing Glendora. I always
ready on the right? Ready on the left? Gwen, you're there.
There she is.
She's grabbing cards.
Grabbing cards.
Everybody should have a resolution somewhere.
I don't have one.
I didn't sign anything.
You're reading one.
What?
Yeah, no, I just 3 people. I don't care who. Where are they? Yeah, but where are they on the agenda? No, I see that. Tracy, where are they on the agenda? Where are they on the agenda?
Discussion action.
Discussion action.
6, 5, 6, 6.
There we go. 6, 7.
I left them up for my peers. 6, 5, 6, 6, and 6, 7. Okay, 6, 5, 6, and 7. There you go.
Does it need to be a blue pen?
Make it quick.
Needs to be a blue pen? For Paul? Does he have a
I do. That's all I need.
You ready, Tracy?
The other two. I'll keep that one.
Lopez.
Just have to sign the other two.
Lopez. There should be one more. You need that back so she can read it. Mr. Lopez, please. Good evening, Glendorans, far and wide. It's 7:02 on Monday, April 22nd. This is the reconvening of the Glendora Unified School District Board of Education. We have no reportable action from closed session, so we will start the open session with a roll call vote, please. Roll call for, excuse me, not a vote, just roll call.
Board Member Reuter,
Here.
Board Clerk Lopez,
Here.
Board Member Merkley,
I'm here.
Vice President Garcia,
Here.
President Clifford.
Present. Next item is the Pledge of Allegiance. Gwen, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Please stand. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Gwen. 3.4, I already answered that question. Can I have a motion to adopt the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay, that brings us to 3.6, which is board recognition for Mission 18 Experiment Team, Patch and Color Contest winner. Come on up.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed members of the board, teachers, students, and all of our distinguished guests. Today I have the immense pleasure of recognizing the exceptional efforts and groundbreaking achievements of our students and staff involved in Mission 18 under the Student Spaceflight Experiment Program, or SSEP. Firstly, let us extend our heartfelt gratitude to the Glendora Education Foundation, whose unwavering support has made this mission possible. By funding this project, GEF has not only fueled the scientific curiosity of our students, but also propelled Glendora Unified School District into the frontiers of space research. At Glendora High, our brilliant sophomore team, led by the tenacious Safira Prakash, with the support of advisors Jimmy Liao and Chris Alertis, have embarked on a remarkable journey exploring the growth of, and I'm going to try to pronounce this correctly, cyanobacteria under the challenging conditions of microgravity and darkness. Their experiment, focusing on the cyanobacterium Trichormis variabilis, aims to uncover insights that could have profound implications for future space colonization and terraforming efforts. The project represents a significant stride, not just in space research, but also in educational achievement, as it offers our students a unique hands-on opportunity to engage directly with real-world scientific inquiries. The enthusiasm and dedication that the Mission 18 team has shown are commendable, and their work epitomizes the spirit of innovation that we strive to cultivate here at GUSD. Furthermore, we are thrilled about the participation of our broader student body through the Mission 18 Patch and Coloring Contest. This initiative invites students from grades TK through 12 to color a space-themed Scotty template created by the Glendora and Stanton's own Mrs. Lizzie Birmingham. Students from 4 through 12 had the opportunity to design a mission patch that represents our community's venture into space exploration. This was more than just an art competition. It is a celebration of the unity and creativity of our students, bridging science with visual arts. As we eagerly await the launch of our experiment to the International Space Station and anticipate the wealth of knowledge it will return with, let us pause to recognize the Mission 18 team and the community of students who supported the experiment through their artistic efforts. In closing, I'd like to again commend our young scientists and every student who have shown an interest in Mission 18. You are not just the leaders of tomorrow, you are the pioneers of today. Thank you for pushing the boundaries of what is possible and for taking us all on a journey that is truly out of this world. English teacher, I couldn't resist the pen. Thank you all for your support and encouragement of these young explorers. Together, we continue to reach for the stars. Let's first recognize our coloring contest winners. From Sutherland, representing our TK class, we have Kaya Hernandez. From Stanton, and you can go ahead and stand up here for a second. From Stanton Kindergarten, Matthew Ta. From La Fetra, first grade, Emily Williams. From Stanton, Juliana Dominguez. And our patch winners from Goddard, 8th grader Aditi Govin. And from GHS, Vaughn Thatcher. And lastly, but certainly not least, because we're here because of their vision and hard work, Safira Prakash, David Scott, Janelle Jimenez, and advisor Chris Alertis. Join me in a round of applause for everybody. Can we wait 1 second? We have one more. And we have Eleanor Wilson, who is joining us as well tonight. Come on up. From Sutherland, 2nd grade. All right. All right, great job, thank you.
Our next item is public comment. We have 3 cards tonight. Robert Denman. Huh? Okay. Robert, just go ahead and stand there for a minute. We'll get a minute.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You get ready.
Okay.
We won't turn the clock on yet.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Denman will be followed by Jennifer Kennedy and then Michael Barron. Those are our 3 cards tonight. So that's the order. Almost give them another few seconds to find their way out. They were pretty excited. Thank you. They were very excited. They were famous. They liked their
Color is at the back table.
That's okay. I think we're ready to go. It's fine. Mr. Denman, are you ready?
I am, thank you.
Okay, here we go. Our first speaker tonight, Mr. Denman.
Hello, Glendora Unified School District Board members. I'm here today to voice my concerns on how the newly implemented online extended daycare 24-25 application registration process was not fairly administered. You made changes to the registration that is non-equitable to families who followed your instructions. I depend on this process to be fair, as my child was enrolled in it last year and everything was fine. But now I'm in a bad position due to new process changes and is causing significant stress in our household as we do not know what we're going to do for daycare. Reached out to Sarah Naharo in an attempt to identify why my child was on the extended daycare wait list with a confirmed submission of 8:02 a.m. And asked 2 questions. First, were parents, guardians able to access LaFetra registration portal prior to 8 a.m. on Monday, March 4th, as noted in attached communication from district? And secondly, did you accept submissions for LaFetra prior to 8 a.m.? Ms. Naharo did indeed confirm per our subsequent phone conversation that several of the school's online registration portals, including LaFetra Elementary, were able to be unfairly accessed prior to 8 a.m. and contradicting district instructions. They informed me that the portals had to be manually launched individually due to utilizing Google Forms, and only 1 staff member was available to perform tasks. Combination of inadequate online registration system, Google Forms, and lack of staff available required portals to be launched several minutes early to meet 8 a.m. deadline. These several minutes of early access for online registration is crucial with today's technology, as potentially hundreds of individuals can register within minutes. Therefore, why I believe my child is on the wait list with a confirmed submission at 8:02 a.m. when the online portal, as stated in district instructions, was not to open until 8 a.m. Followed up with daycare staff multiple times on when we can expect our child to get off the wait list with the same generic response, to be patient, and we are in an interview process to hire more staff. This is not reassuring, especially when I believe my child is on the wait list due to your administration's mismanagement. Strongly encourage you to redo this year's online registration or go back to the old process, as this has caused significant non-equitable enrollment for my child. At least I knew the rules with the old enrollment process of coming in person to Williams Education Center. Alternatively, ensure enough staff are hired that spots are available for families affected by letting some people access the registration early. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Jennifer Kennedy. Mr. Denman, if you hang out until public comment's over, I'll see if staff can address any of that for you.
So tonight I'm identifying as Jennifer Kennedy. Kidding. My name is Michael Barron, and Jennifer Kennedy was not able to make it, so she will not be speaking tonight. So I wanted tonight really to not point a finger or blame anybody. Rather, I'm just going to share information with you, and hopefully this will allow you to make some improvements. Recently, there was a situation, an incident that occurred at La Phaedra Elementary School, that put children in danger. But again, my focus is not on the incident itself, because sometimes bad things happen. You try to prevent them, you plan for them, but they happen anyway. So I'm not taking issue with the incident. My focus is on the lack of communication and responsiveness that the parents of those children in that class that experienced the incident, that they did not get information after repeated requests. And that doesn't, to me, make sense. It was considered that 2 board members here visited that class with a treat and reassured the students, I think, that everything was fine, or maybe they wanted to check things out. But if you were one of the parents of one of those children, wouldn't you want to know what happened and what actions were being taken to prevent this from happening, or how the responsiveness of the school administration was going to handle this situation? Glendora parents talk, so it makes sense for the communication policy to be one of transparency and not of secrecy or of silence. Consider that these parents who receive multiple texts, emails, and written communication about the importance of attendance, because we know attendance drives funding. That's very clear. Parents have gotten the message, and we might want to back off on that because it's getting, pretty darn repetitive. But imagine these same parents who, upon asking for information about what their kids are reporting to them, just get silence. In fact, to the point where they keep their kids at home because they don't know what's going to happen. What's the school doing about this? So it just was not handled very well. And I think there's opportunity for improvement. And I think that this administration, the school district administration, could look into this and do a better job, make clear what the policy is. Also, the bathroom issue at La Phaedra continues to be a problem. Children are choosing to avoid using school bathrooms all day long rather than enter them. And although it pains me to mention this, kids are not wanting to eat their lunch on the lunch tables because they've seen the crew use the same broom on the floors that they use to sweep the top of the lunch tables. Come on, that needs to be ended. So take it as it's offered. Hopefully you can do something about this. Thank you.
Mr. Barron, we appreciate it. I have no further cards, so we'll close public comment. Dr. Prince, would you mind addressing a couple of the issues that had to do with the wait list for the one speaker?
Yes, so there's multiple parts with the wait list. So our daycare, as the speaker mentioned, our daycare is understaffed. For any of those in the audience or online watching, the job is available on EdJoin. Please apply. Numerous jobs. But we did move to an electronic system this year, and we did that because in prior years we had complaints or concerns from parents as they weren't able to get there early to line up or take a day off work to come sign up. So we moved to an electronic system. With that, they were opened either, 30 seconds before, maybe a minute and a half before to a minute after as we were opening each one. We will absolutely look at fine-tuning that part of the system. But the actual wait list isn't necessarily directly related to time. When we have our parents who sign up, our parents who qualify for the Extended Learning Opportunity Program, or ELOP, actually legally have a priority in the program. So once we get all of the registrations, we take all of our ELOP parents and our students and put those in there first. And those might be our students who are on free and reduced lunch, foster, homeless, English learners to qualify for ELOP. We place those first, and then we place our non-qualifying students. We are definitely working on hiring more. We very much want to pull all of our kids off the wait list. As a mom who used to absolutely rely on daycare, I totally understand the plight. And we are working really hard on hiring to be able to pull all of our students off wait list. But yeah, there's a system.
No, that's good. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It sounds like the wait list isn't a function of when you opened or closed your time online. It has to do with the priorities with ELOP and the other things. So I'm going to pass this card to you. It has the speaker's information. If you want to follow up or anything, I really appreciate it. Thank you. All right, that moves us to 3.8, which, believe it or not, is another public hearing. It's the initial joint sunshine proposal from the Glendora Teachers Association, GTA, and the Glendora Unified School District for 2024-25. So what I'd like to do for that item before it's displayed to us is I will open up the public hearing for this specific item for the joint sunshine proposal from the Glendora Teachers Association and the Glendora Unified School District for 2024. Are there any public comments regarding this hearing? Okay, that being said, I'll close public comment and I'll turn it over to staff for any report.
Thank you. I believe we were gonna share out at 6.1.
Okay, that's fine with me, so we just did the public comment period right now. All right, that moves us to item 4.1, which is the student board member report. Gwen, that's you.
Hello, thank you. So, starting off from La Fetra, the students had a double dose of middle school. Recently, Dr. Perez paid a visit to La Fetra from Sandburg to talk to our 5th graders about next year, and in the same week, our 5th graders had a chance to explore Sandburg or Goddard with a guided tour from their students. The 5th graders are beyond excited for middle school. PTA hosted a father-daughter dance and a mother-son event. Both evenings were filled with lots of fun, and they all had a blast spending quality time together. PTA hosted a draw-along assembly, which was absolutely fantastic. Our students had a blast discovering their artistic talents through drawing. State testing has begun. Students and staff have been working all year, and for the next couple of weeks, students will show all that they have learned. Next, from Sellers Elementary. Our 5th graders recently had a chance to tour the middle schools. They were thrilled to get to see their new campus and meet new people. I know they will be in good hands when they leave us at the end of the school year, and I know that they are eager to become 6th graders. State testing started today for our Sellers Vikings. We are going to rock that test and shoot for having 100% completion rate and attendance throughout. Each student who shows attendance every day of the test will be eligible to attend Popsicles with the Principal party at the end of our testing session. Recently, our Imagination Machine assembly and the students really enjoyed it. The Imagination Machine is a small troupe of actors who tour elementary schools and perform stories written by the students themselves. We had 7 student authors whose stories were chosen to be performed. The stories were creative and engaging, and all the actors did a great job performing what the students wrote. From Goddard Middle School, the 5th grade tours went very well. The theme was Disney and You've Got a Friend in Me. Our incoming 6th grade students had a blast getting to know the school, visiting classes, and learning about our programs, and talking to current students and teachers about all the amazing experiences they will have at Goddard. Is that just say that? CASP? Okay. Crush the CASP! We are in the state testing season. Students are taking the state exams in English, math, and science. We will be celebrating our 8th graders for their academic and scholastic achievements on Wednesday, May 22nd, with a formal awards ceremony that we are planning. Our PTA is busy planning the 8th grade promotion dance. The theme this year is Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory. Goddard's debate team, led by students from Glendora High School's debate team, participated in their first debate competition on Monday. Students debated each other and showcased debating skills that they have learned all semester long. Our annual honor roll field trip to Knott's is coming up. We will be taking over 500 students to Knott's this year. Miss Jacobson and our ASB students are busy planning our annual color run event. This event is always fun, colorful, messy, and a student favorite for sure. Our 8th grade AVID students will be taking a day trip to San Diego to visit several colleges and universities as part of AVID's early focus on college and career preparation standards. Yeah, you're gonna have to help me with this one.
Dr. A.
A.
Yep, just Dr. A.
Just Dr. A's reading challenge. We are continuing to encourage students to read at least 10 pages daily. We are messaging out that if they read 10 plus pages a day, that's over 70 pages a week. And that adds up to 280 pages a month. That means they are reading 1 novel a month, which is pretty amazing. From Whitcomb, Our focus this week is on supporting our students to do their best on the CASP testing. We have a special testing schedule on testing days and have turned off the school bells to allow students to focus on doing their best without worrying about the time. The leadership class has also planned a crazy hat day on the 16th to kick off testing. Our ATP program had visitors touring the program on Friday the 19th for parents and program specialists from other districts who are interested in getting information about our ATP program. Administration will be attending a workshop on Friday the 19th for is that set up? LACO, okay, these acronyms, to learn about their means of correction. We hope to find ways to support our students and maintain a safe campus. Dr. Prince visited our campus today and visited each classroom to observe the teaching and learning happenings on our campus. Last week and this week, we are having the 11th grade Whitcomb and Gold students test for ELA, math, and science. They will be receiving incentives for attendance and good effort, including food vouchers, an AMC gift card, and PTSA has donated food vouchers from Raising Cane's, Chick-fil-A, and Carl's Jr. restaurants as an incentive for testing. We appreciate the support of our PTSA and local restaurants. Our leadership class is serving the Glendora community by working at Shepherd's Pantry on the 18th and 24th. They are also learning about Glendora culture by touring the Rubal Castle on the 26th. These community volunteer efforts will continue and expand next year. We are continuing to focus on attendance and reward students for good attendance. We also are reaching out to families who need additional support for attendance by doing home visits, meeting with parents and students, providing weekly counselor check-ins, and other individualized supports. We have improved attendance by 12% compared to this time last year. Also, we had our prom a little while ago, and that was really fun. I just want to throw that in there. Thank you.
Thank you, Gwen. That moves us right to the comments from the members of the Board of Education, starting to my left, Trustee Reuter.
All right, thank you very much. I want to give a special shout out to the Glendora Education Foundation for the lovely event that they held this past Friday evening, the Food for Thought event. Just about everybody up here on this dais was in attendance and many in the audience as well. I want to thank all the community members that came and participated. There was some really exciting news and information that has come out in some of our community newsletters, but to be raising funds for the STEAM labs at the elementary schools, starting with LaFetra, working our way through and into the middle schools, is a really exciting endeavor that is going to touch the lives of all of our students as we move forward this way. So I think it's a really smart and really wonderful idea. And would also like to mention that all of those STEAM labs are going to be in memoriam of one of our former colleagues, Dr. Chuck Gomer, who was an exceptional board member and really above all else person. The stories that I've heard about Chuck and that knew about Chuck over time, really the commitment that he had to our students and our employees, staff, everybody in Glendora Unified School District was more than any of us can ever understand. So I think it's perfectly fitting that those rooms are in his honor. So thanks for supporting. Look forward to hearing from the Ed Foundation on the dollars raised that night. It's always a very fun event. I'm looking forward to it in the future. And then my next message is for the couple of seniors that happen to be in this room and that may be watching and their families. Things are about to really speed up. Prom is this Saturday at Glendora High School, and then it's just going to sort of be a blur till the end of the school year. I know everybody's it's senioritis, and you're just ready for it to be done, or whatever the case might be, but things are about to start moving really quickly, and I encourage you all to take a look around, try and slow down time, appreciate what you've got going on right now. Everybody's looking forward to what's coming next, and we're all looking forward to that with you. But you've been here at Glendora Unified, some of you for your entire school career, some of you just for a short period of time. We're glad to have you, and we hope that you will take the time to to be aware of what's going on around you and your friends and your teachers and everybody that got you where you are to these really exciting days to come. To the parents, buckle up. It's a bumpy couple of weeks in a good way, but in a as a parent of a senior and the emotional roller coaster that you go through, it's a lot of fun. So just take your time. Have fun here, and then look forward to what comes next after graduation. That's all I have tonight. Thanks.
Thank you, Trustee Lopez.
Well, I had the opportunity to attend the all-school awards for Glendora High School. And that was quite an event. It was really cool to see all the kids that were recognized for all the good things that they're doing on the Glendora High School campus. And a little bit different take than the senior awards. So really well done by the leadership at Glendora High School and everybody involved in that award ceremony. So it was really nice to see. And yes, buckle up. It is the end of the year's coming. Have fun, Tartans. It'll be a pretty good ride to the end. So that's all I have tonight.
Trustee Garcia?
First and foremost, I wanted to say congratulations to the Mission 18 artists and scientists that were here and now are gone. Sorry we didn't get to give a few words for you, but congratulations, very exciting, and happy Earth Day. That kind of all goes together. I had an opportunity to attend some of the AP research presentations, and mind-blowing. I mean, this is my second year actually going in and being part of the panel that gets to ask them some, I didn't come up with the questions, they tell me what to ask. But I am always so impressed by the work that these seniors are doing. And I think sometimes it's available and open to staff, right, for staff too. So if you haven't had an opportunity to sit in on those AP research projects, highly, highly encourage you because it is one of those things that leaves you, you walk away thinking like, we're doing good things here. And sometimes we need to hear that as well, that things are going well, our kids are amazing, and they're doing a lot of good work, especially since that's their senior year, and you kind of see kind of the end of all that work, everything that has been poured into them. So thank you to everyone who contributes to that final product, because it is incredible. I'm going to echo with the all-school awards. That was pretty impressive. It's my understanding it's the first of its kind, which surprises me because that was so amazing. So great to see so many kids being recognized for many different things. I did bring the list because some of them were like Supportive Friendship Award. Being a friend is so important, and it's important to, I was very touched by that particular award because it is nowadays when our youth is struggling with loneliness and all that good stuff, it's nice to see that friendships and those connections are being rewarded. So thank you for, again, the leadership for coming up with those awards. The teacher recognitions, the CTE pathway completers, very proud of them all because I know that takes a consistent commitment. So I'm very happy to see those. The biliteracy seal, that was amazing. The number up there, they had to divide it into 2 groups because there were so many of them. I love to see that. Anyway, that was on that. And then planning committee for 8th grade promo. I happen to be part of that for Goddard. I'm going to throw in a plug out there for PTA. PTA needs parents to help. I understand that we're all incredibly busy, and so there's little ways that you can help. The end of the school year is very busy for our teachers and our staff, so parents come in and kind of help out with those end of year parties and celebratory things that we do at the schools that kind of bring it all together for the kids. It's important for them to have fun, not just learn all day. It's important for them to have some fun experiences, and that's where PTA comes in. So if you have a few minutes or a few dollars, please contact your site PTA president, and I'm sure they'll be very happy to hear from you. Glendora Education Foundation, that event was phenomenal, and if you haven't attended, I highly, highly recommend that you do that. I know I do that a lot, but I promise you, it's a really good event. And there's a huge gap between the needs of our students and the funding, and GEF helps us with, coming up with ways to help support our students in some of those programs that we're unable to fund with state funding. So thank you, GEF, for everything that you do to help us fill in that gap for our students. And I think that's all I have. I said Happy Earth Day. That's all I have for you.
Thank you, Robin.
Thanks. Well, I was gonna talk about food for thought. It was great. I got a bracelet, got this. Anyway, gift card.
Oh, for your.
Kind of mani-pedi
I
today.
got the diamond ring. I was like, wow.
No, that's been around for a few years. Anyway, and the high school all-school award, that was really, you're right, I echo, it was just amazing that all these kids got recognized for different things and not just for their grades. I really enjoyed that. And then on a personal note, in case you didn't hear, my daughter did have twins, Martha and Molly. They're still in NICU, but they're coming home Wednesday. So I came home for a brief respite, and I'm going back tomorrow, so I'll be there when they come home. And will not be getting much sleep in the next little bit. But anyway, I'm glad that I could be here now and hope to be back for graduation and stuff. We'll see.
Thank you, Robin. I just have a few items very quickly. The event that we attended, the Glendora Education Foundation, I'm happy to see Mrs. Clifford in the audience tonight. She brought home lots of, I guess we call it, we won a lot of auction items. Yeah, won. Yeah, so we had quite a few auction items that we picked up that night. So she's busy trying to find places to put those things. I'm not allowed to bring anything more home, so we have to figure that one out too. We brought lots of stuff home that night. I also want to thank all of the students and parents that sent emails and communications to the board this past few weeks. As you know, we respond to them. If we don't have the answers immediately, we give them to the superintendent and get back to you as soon as we can. This is Earth Day. I was involved in about 50 Earth Days from about Thursday of last week till today. I did a podcast on my way here from 3 to 3:30 in West Covina about the facts of Earth Day, and it's pretty chilling, but we've created about 9 billion tons of plastic refuse that we're trying to eliminate from landfills, and the methane gas from the organic programs that are out there now. About 30% of the methane gas is created from the organic waste fraction that goes to landfills. And I think that's what we're trying to eliminate with the food waste programs. So we talked a little bit about those. Guess where the other 70% of the methane waste comes from? Cows and their byproduct. Because Eric's a farmer, he knows. Eric knew right away. So we're dealing with the 30%. It's kind of like the opposite of Eric's a farmer, he knows. He's a lover of the land. We have this discussion, but it's the opposite of the 80-20 plan. We're trying to fight the little bit that we create, but in the nation, there's lots of cows, there's lots of beef, there's lots of stuff going on. The good news is our waste trucks run on the methane gas that is created at landfills and dairy farms. So we're not using CNG that's fracked, we're using methane gas that is recycled from landfills and from dairy farms. So I thought that was good news. It's a nice podcast that you can watch. It's in West Covina. And in closing, I just wanted to recognize that although I couldn't be at the all-school awards because we had many events that night, I was at the event and emceed the Glendora Citizen of the Year Award for 2023. And the inductee this year was Dr. Cliff Hamlow, which is a familiar name to this school district. His son is a coach of our Glendora Tartans basketball team. And Cliff and his family have had a huge impact on this community, from city council through naming the Azusa Pacific University basketball court Hamlow Court. He's a very accomplished teacher, mentor, coach. So Cliff, my hat's off to you again for your award this year. He has the torch for 2023. The board members attended that. Glendora Unified School District actually had a table of representatives there that night. So some that were at the awards shinning on over to that. And it was a very nice Glendora event again. So that's all I have for tonight. I'll turn it over. Do you have something else?
I just thank you for bringing that up, that Citizen of the Year. I am sorry that I didn't make a comment on it. For those of you who don't know Dr. Hamlow, he turned 90 years old 2 weeks ago probably now. He's been coaching with his son for 28 years, which is something that nobody gets to do. Nobody gets to coach with one of their children for 28 years that way. And the stories that were told, again, of Dr. Hamlow, sitting with everybody, whatever table you were at, you were hearing 10 different stories about how those people knew him and what he's given to this community, both at a city level and a school district level. He was extremely deserving that reward. So thank you for bringing that up. I'm sorry, Cliff, for forgetting to mention it. I know you'll be watching this in about a few days. He always watches, he always comments, so really hats off to you. Thank you.
And in closing, I just want to again say that the best speech of the night was done by a Glendora Unified School District senior who was a senior last year, graduated, that played basketball, and he got up there and just killed the mic. And it was just amazing to listen to this young man speak. So thank you again, and Dr. DeGrazia, I'll turn it over to you for the superintendent. The much-awaited superintendent.
Much awaited, much anticipated. Thank you, Mr. Clifford, members of the board, distinguished guests. Indeed, Dr. Cliff Hamlow is most deserving of that award as Citizen of the Year. If there's anybody that I can think of for somehow that over the years never received it, is long overdue, much well-deserved. Wonderful to hear from all of the speakers, but especially the student. As Mr. Clifford noted, I didn't see him referencing any notes. I just heard him speak from his heart. And it was very, very touching and very emotional and meant a lot to hear from him. We've heard a lot about the Foundation's annual fundraiser. It was another outstanding event. We appreciate their ongoing support. We announced the dedication in honor of and memory of Dr. Gomer of all 7 STEAM labs, the 5 elementaries to come. La Fetra is about done. And we'll work on Cullen and Stanton over the summer, followed by the next 2 elementary schools during the year next year, followed by the 2 middle schools after that. All of them will be, again, dedicated in Dr. Gomer's memory. We are also thankful to the Foundation for their support of Mission 17 last year, Mission 18 this year, and they've already committed to Mission 19 for next year's program. Speaking of next year, although Gwen only has 20 some odd days of school remaining, 27 to be exact. Nobody's counting. Nobody's counting.
I'm counting.
Yeah, she's counting. She's counting. We all are. And so certainly seniors have a few less days than others. So seniors like Gwen and our other representative, Aiden, have a couple days less. But 28 days just remain. So it does go quickly, and it becomes a downhill train perhaps, but we're preparing for the next. As we're wrapping one year up, we're preparing for the next. And so our registrations are still being accepted. Transitional kindergarten and kindergarten are very important grades. We know that when students come to the Glendora Unified School District and they begin with us, or they start pre-K with us, 99 out of 100 stay. And so please, just a reminder to register your students. We still have openings for dual language immersion Spanish spots for our inaugural kindergarten class for dual language at Sutherland, which is happening next year. Special plug and presentation that's going to come up for the California Healthy Kids Survey and some data. Please listen closely to that data that Ms. Wilson's going to share, especially data about when our high schoolers go to sleep and if they eat breakfast or not. 2 really important factors in the importance of their school day, whether testing or not. During testing season or not. The all-school awards everyone's mentioned was outstanding. Over 400 students were recognized, all grade levels, not just seniors, grades 9 through 12. And a very special day this week is Administrative Professionals Day. I'm lucky to have one of the most outstanding administrative professionals in the district over here to my right, Ms. Tracy Cornelius. And it's a day to remember and honor those folks across our district. They make things happen. They make us look good many times. And so we appreciate what they do that day, but every day throughout the year. So thank you, Ms. Cornelius, for what you do. And special congratulations. There's a new doctor in the room. Today, he successfully defended his dissertation. So it is my honor to be the first to announce publicly and introduce to you Dr. Eric Osborne. So the good doctor over there defended his dissertation at Azusa Pacific University And I know he will now complete some minor revisions and get that to publish and print and wrap up his final classes here in the next few months and into the summer and be all done. Dr. Osborne, congratulations. Thank you.
Any other staff items before we move on? All right, thank you very much. We are going to now move to the staff presentation, 5.1, workability presentation by Melissa Kiley? Killy, sorry.
That's okay. Good evening, Board of Trustees, Dr. DeGrazia, staff, and community. My name is Melissa Killy, and I'm a program specialist and the project manager of our district's Workability 1 program. And I am very proud to be here with our amazing Workability team, Beatrice Lomelli, our project coordinator, and Monica Jeffries, our project job developer. And hopefully I can get this over. Our district's Workability program supports our students in special education in high school and adult transition, ages 16 to 22 years old, who receive services through an IEP or an individual education plan. We support our students in developing vocational skills in order for them to receive competitive integrated employment and/or higher education. Our program is fully funded through California Department of Education, and we have been fortunate to have been awarded this grant every year since 2007. Workability 1 is driven by California Ed Code 56470, which states, providing instruction and experiences that reinforce skills leading to gainful employment. This year, we have served 280 students and placed 27 students in paid work experience. These are some pictures of our students at job sites, and they are receiving vocational training. So how does our Workability program support students? We provide school-based experiences through assessment to determine their interest in career, college, and independent living, which also support our students' individual transition plans. We provide work-based learning experiences by giving students paid work internships of 25 hours at minimum wage, with ongoing follow-ups with students and business partner managers. A big part of our Workability 1 program is collaboration development. We collaborate with our adult transition teachers in supporting our students through transportation and vocational resources, giving our students transportation training, as well as learning vocational and independent living skills in the classroom setting, where they can generalize these skills into the community and workplace. We also collaborate with our local community college through the Disabled Student Program Services Office in providing orientation field trips with our 11th and 12th graders. We also work closely with parents, guardians, in ensuring our students are aware of the community resources they can access in facilitating their post-secondary goals. Beatrice Lomelli will be giving more details about our community partnerships. Is this one right here?
Hello, good evening. I'm Beatrice Lomelli, the program coordinator. Our program connects families and students with different organizations. We work closely with the Department of Rehab, DOR. They provide additional hours to our students that complete their work experience hours through our Workability program. They also provide pre-employment training. They explore with our students educational programs, and they also provide work readiness workshops. We are currently working with the Glendora Chamber of Commerce to expand our business partnerships in supporting our community business through our paid internships. We have been invited to do a presentation about our program, which we are looking forward so we can build relationships with our local businesses and our Workability program. We also have a partnership with American Job Center. So just like the Department of Rehab, they also provide additional work experience hours for our students and additional services such as post-secondary counseling and job exploration. So now at this moment, I would like to introduce Monica Jeffries, our wonderful job developer. She will be speaking about our business partnerships.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Monica Jeffries, and I'm the job developer for the Workability One program. My duty as a job developer is to reach out into our community and find possible job site partnerships for the students we serve. During COVID, we lost 90% of our business partnerships and had to rebuild relationships within our community. Currently, we have partnered with Goodwill, Continental Restaurant, Marie Callender's, Costco, San Dimas Feed and Grain, and the Glendora Library. This year, we were able to add partnerships with Chaparral Bowling, Barnes & Noble, and the Yard Sale Store. Next year, we are hoping to have our students work at our very own Glendora Gives store. We also facilitate meetings with managers at job sites to follow up with students to ensure that they are reaching their full potential and gaining work experience. We set up employment interviews and continuously monitor student progress at their job sites. So we had a video, but unfortunately we're not able to play it, but hopefully we can send it out to you guys. And it's the manager at Barnes & Noble, and he was really great at explaining what our students are doing there, and he loves us, okay? And then there's also Lily. This is her testimonial. She is currently working at the Continental Restaurant here in Glendora, and she says, "This job is a great start for students like me to start planning for a successful future with school and work." So, while I'm still up here, one of the best ways you can do to support this program is, do you know of any local businesses willing to partner with Workability to provide our students with work experience? Please let us know. We will be more than happy to meet with them. As we are looking forward to the 2024-2025 new school year, here is Beatrice to talk about how we can give our students more employment opportunities.
So now, moving forward, we are working to expand our program by adding additional funding through the We Can Work grant, allowing us to place 35 additional students for up to 100 hours of work experience. We are excited and looking forward to the 24-25 school year. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your team presentation. Any comments or any questions from the board?
Yes, I have a couple.
All right.
Thank you, ladies, for this presentation. I've been looking forward to hearing more about what the Workability One program does and how it's helping our students, so I appreciate this. Question for you. You said you're looking forward to the We Can Work grant that'll allow you for 35 more students. How many students does the current grant allow you to place in work setting?
At the moment, through the Workability program, is 27.
So only 27 a year? Is that
yes, a school year. So now with the We Can Work grant, we're trying to get an additional funding so we can be able to service 34 additional students.
Okay, and then this serves all students with an IEP that are interested in this program?
16 to 22 years old.
16 to 22, okay. And what was my other question? Is this the first year that you collaborate with the Chamber of Commerce?
Yes. Yes, this is the first year we're trying to build that relationship.
And how old is the Workability program?
The program's been in California since 1981, but the program's been in California since 1981, but we have had it since 2007.
Okay. And then prior to that, before working with the Chamber of Commerce, you guys were just on your own, knocking on doors and trying to get...
Yes, going to businesses and job developers and our coordinator, all three of us, any chance we can to talk about, if we're on a field trip, to go to any business to talk about our program and talk about the benefits that the business can have in employing our students. We really talk about it.
Now, can you elaborate on how the Workability, I mean, because it's, maybe I don't want to say what I believe, because I want you to tell us what it is. How is that funding used, and do the business partners have to pay the students? Who pays the student?
Very good question. So our grant is about $94,000 a year, and with the $94,000 a year, we employ 27 students at minimum wage. at 25 hours. And this is why it's and we pay for it, the grant pays for it. So they are district employees until the 25 hours have exhausted. And this is why it's very important that we have relationships with DOR, because once a student exhausts the 25 hours, then we move over to Department of Rehab and they take over and provide an additional 100 to 300 hours. So we really work hard to build our relationships and maintain our relationship with Department of Rehab and America Job Center as well.
And then after that, the hope is that the business partner will have already poured into this employee
Exactly.
and hopefully hire them and continue that relationship.
Yes.
Thank you. I feel it's important to state that you guys pay, or the grants pay for this amount, because really it's a win for the businesses,
Yes,
especially in our
exactly.
local downtown. Joe Cena, Chamber of Commerce, I'm glad you guys are working with him. He's an amazing resource, and I know he's going to get you a lot more partnerships, because he's already taken the time to develop those relationships. So I'm happy to hear that you guys are talking to him. Thank you again for your presentation.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I know you said 2007, but my daughter graduated in 2006, and she participated in some workability program.
Maybe it was 6, 7, but we've had it, our grants, it started in 2000 as far as our data, and our base, that was 2007. So it might have been the 2006-7 school year that she participated in?
No, she graduated in 2006.
Oh.
But there was some workability program. She worked at she worked at the Bank of America, so maybe it was.
Maybe it was through our, I don't know.
It wasn't through RLP. No, but it was called workability. So maybe it was workability 0 instead of workability 1, because I don't know. But anyway, it was great for her. She really did enjoy it. So thank you for that. Thank you for all that you do with this.
I just want to thank you all for this presentation. I think that you all provided a lot of information, not only to us, but the community that doesn't know about this exceptional program that we have here in Glendora Unified School District. So thank you all as the coordinators. Thank you to all the teachers, all the aides, everybody that is participating in this program, because I do think it's a remarkable program. And I'm really glad and proud of you for asking for help. And what you need is more resources as far as community businesses in the community to develop partnerships with. So that's something that I certainly, as I'm talking with people in the community, will spread, and as I'm sure my fellow board members will as well. So thank you all very much for what you do, and please let us know what you all need for us to be able to help you. Help us help you, as the saying goes. Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, thank you so much, because if we're going to be getting more funding, we're going to be able to yes, we're going to be able to exactly get more students, 35 additional students. So yes, definitely, we need your help.
Well, it's such a mutually beneficial program.
Yes.
All parties involved are benefiting from this, so it really does seem like a no-brainer to me. It's just a matter of getting the word of mouth out, getting the word out there. So I'll task my colleagues with keeping it on top of mind as we have our conversations in the community.
Yes, our emails are on the slide, so
Okay.
you're more than welcome to email us, and we can contact the business owner.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing this presentation forward. Thank you, Dr. Murray, for support. I'm really glad to hear from these folks tonight. Thank you.
And I have some fall newsletters, so if you don't mind passing those to board members, just gives some more information.
Mr. Lopez.
No, thank you guys for presenting tonight. And it hasn't, Robin, you are correct. Workability does go back a little bit further than that, but it looked differently back then. So it's a different look what you guys brought today. There are a few places that I will contact. For some reason, they've fallen off from when we started with our adult transition and we had the kids going out. So, no, but thank you for your work. It's important to the kids. It's important to, especially some of our kids as they're learning those functional skills, for them to get out and to be able to try to do things so that so they're productive, right? And so that they're able to work, to be in the workplace when they leave Glendora when they're 22 years old. So appreciate the presentation. Keep up the good work, and I will email you with some more places that we can get.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully we can get that going.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. Nice presentation. Tonight's when it's good to be a project manager, right? You get all the kudos, so we'll leave it that way.
I'm sorry, I have one more question. You said you were looking forward to this grant. Have you you already applied, but have you heard back, or when do you expect to hear back about whether or not you get this grant? Late summer.
Late summer, we should hear.
Okay. And then will you guys let us know?
Yes, of course. Yes, we definitely will let you know.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, our next item is item 5.2, California Healthy Kids Survey presentation by Josie Wilson. Josie, you have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good evening, President Clifford, Board Trustees, Dr. Grazia, Cabinet, and guests. We are going to be presenting a little bit about the California Healthy Kids Survey tonight. And with me is Danny Kent, who's heavily involved in our 2-pay grant, so she will be sharing some information as well. So I mentioned that Danny is involved with our 2-pay grant, and 2-pay and California Healthy Kids Survey are linked as well, so we wanted to provide just a little bit of context before we get into our data. So we are fortunate to receive a $50,000 2-pay grant from the Los Angeles County Office of Education. We do receive that annually. It's conditional though, like most grants are. So there's some things that to receive the money we have to do in return. One of those is the administration of the California Healthy Kids Survey, our acknowledgement and celebrations that go along with Red Ribbon Week, drug, alcohol, tobacco education, intervention, cessation curriculum, and accompanying support. And also there's a parent education component that accompanies that as well. And then we use those grant monies in various ways, and some of those will be familiar to you all. Harmful substance awareness prevention programs, mental health awareness, and support for GUSD students. And Danny's going to talk a little bit more about some of the specific ways that we use those funds.
Thank you, Josie. So the 2-pay grant funds specific functions of our GUSD district and school climate, much like the things listed here: web crew, link crew, parent education nights like our cyber safety cop that was here in the fall, Ray Lozano, the celebrations for Red Ribbon Week and all of the activities planned within, drug detection dogs on campus and at school events, smoking and drug cessation, middle and high school teen leadership summits, as well as the support and subsidization of the salaries for those district support staff that administer those materials and curriculum related to these pivotal educational programs and events, in addition to mental health and student connection. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Josie.
So why would we administer the Healthy Kids Survey? We administer it for a variety of reasons. First and foremost, there's a lot of valuable data that comes from that survey that our school sites and our district use to make decisions. Decision making such as any sort of intervention needs, early intervention needs for our school sites. This allows our teams to kind of get on top of things before we're confronted with them. We've talked a lot about multi-tiered systems of support, or MTSS programs. The Healthy Kids Survey data is considered in creating our MTSS systems. The data serves really as a baseline for us for continuous school climate evaluation. That also helps us to think proactively about what supports our kids might need, and then to prepare robust systems of support to meet those needs. There's a few more benefits of the data that we'll get into, and then we have some data highlights for you as well.
So the California Healthy Kids Survey data is crucial to understanding our student body. As many of us know, it's hard to infiltrate the mind of today's modern teens. So this anonymous survey allows us to have students honestly answer things that they may not be able to answer to a trusted adult on campus. The data gives us a lot of insight to our students' well-being, as well as the emerging needs of our student population. And the report yields complete mental health data that informs us of real measurable data of bullying, harassment, certain things in our school which is imperative to grasp in order to intervene and to make sure that things don't build. The data also helps us as practitioners to know if our efforts on campus are working with measurable numerical data. All of these elements assist administrators in accurately drafting their SIPSA and their LCAP, so their school plan for student achievement and LCAP goals. So in essence, the data helps us to do a better job at what we are all here to do: support and educate our GUSD students in the most equitable, safe, and strategic way possible. Each school site gets their own data, and collectively we receive that data as a district as a whole. And we're going to examine some of our glows and grows from our last administration of the survey.
So just some highlights to the data. We administer to 6th, 7th, 9th, and 11th graders. You're not going to see that 6th grade data because that was opt-in. I'm sorry, it was opt-out. So students had to specifically opt out of that survey if their families didn't want them to take it, versus the 7th, 9th, 11th was more of a passive opt-in. So all in all, we administered this to 393 7th grade students. It's about 88% of our district 7th graders. 429 9th grade students, or 88% as well, and 443 11th grade students, and that's about 84% of our kids. As I said, we're going to talk a little bit about some glows, some things that we were really proud of in our data, as well as some grows, some things that were caused a little bit of alarm, and we need to, I think, spend a little bit more time on these things as a district. So the glows are there as you see them. We're going to get a little bit further into those, and then the grows will have some percentages for you on those as well.
Okay, so while our summative California Healthy Kids survey reports are over 200 pages, we'd like to highlight 4 areas in respect to your time. 7th grade is represented by yellow, 9th is in the maroon color, and the 11th grade is found in red. So we can see here we have adults have high expectations of students, and you can see the 7th grade believes 80% of the 7th grade population believes that adults have high expectations of students. And then we have 9th and 11th grades scoring at 71 and 72% of the student population. And that's a really, really great, thing to have on campus. We also have students self-reported that they have mostly A's and B's, and that's, of course, in the 80s and 70% respectively. Students are also satisfied with their friendships and schools, and this is something that we talked about earlier with the All School Awards, and it's nice to see it highlighted as well here with our students scoring, the 76% of the population, and then 74%, so still a really high number of students who are satisfied with their friendships and school. And then, of course, a very low percentage of students feel that they are unsafe at school, and of course that's a very good thing.
Thank you, Danny. So we talked about some of the things that we were really proud of in our data, and our next slide is our grows. So these are areas that we saw when we looked at our district data as a whole, things that we could improve on a little bit. So Dr. DeGrazia mentioned students eating breakfast. And we know that if you don't eat breakfast, you're not your best self, you're not fully functioning. What doesn't show in this data just is the amount of kids that don't eat breakfast and then also don't eat lunch. So we have a lot of our kids just not eating at all during the day and then trying to fuel their brains with very little nutritional value. So we have 28% of our 7th grade students reporting that they don't eat breakfast. 41% of 9th grade students don't eat breakfast, 39% of 11th grade students. So what goes hand in hand with self-care and nutrition is getting proper sleep and your sleep hygiene. And these were pretty alarming to me as we delved deeper into them. So 23% of our seventh grade students reported that they go to bed 11 p.m. and later. And the survey went up to 1 a.m. and beyond, so it's pretty substantial. 49% of our ninth graders don't go to bed before 11 o'clock. And then an alarming 64% of our 11th grade students are going to bed 11 and beyond. Another thing that gives us pause is students who have had chronic sadness or hopelessness in the last 30 days. And so 25% of our seventh graders reported feeling some signs of chronic sadness or hopelessness in the last 30 days. 29% of our ninth graders, and that really jumps up at 11th grade to 37%. We also looked at alcohol or drug usage in the past 30 days. And again, this is anonymous, so we take it for what it's worth, but there's no getting in trouble if kids are reporting this out, so there's really no con to a kid reporting this out, so we can take this at face value. 5% of our seventh graders reported alcohol or drug use in the past 30 days, 7% of our ninth grade students, and then 22% of our 11th grade students.
Each secondary school site principal has met with Mrs. Wilson, our Director of Student and Family Support Services, regarding each school's data. We've linked each report for the board in this presentation, and we hope that this presentation was informative and shed some light on the importance of the California Healthy Kids Survey and the 2P funding here at Glendora Unified. Thank you for your support and your efforts to make this a healthy place to learn.
Thanks for the presentation. I'll start to the left. Any questions, Elizabeth?
Thank you very much for this presentation. Can you tell us what TUPE stands for?
Tobacco use tobacco use prevention education.
Okay, thank you. And then the presentation, I did click around on the links because I had the presentation ahead of time, but are the presentation links to the individual schools going to be available to the public? I understand the presentation will, but are the links also going to be public?
Yes, so they'll be on our website.
Okay, because it is really interesting, eye-opening information. Parents of students in the grades that were administered this survey, were they all sent results via email, or is this how anybody, this is the first way that anybody's gonna access this information?
Yes, so
Okay.
the results for any school are public, but they're not public until we post them.
Okay.
And so our last round in the 2021 school year was on our website. That'll be replaced with this current administration.
And will you all be sending, as much as we'd like to believe that everybody's watching these board meetings and clicking on all of our attachments, will you be sending, say, to the 9th and 11th grade parents the results, or even just the whole high school parents through Parent Square or however you decide to do it, the results of this survey? Because some of it is pretty eye-opening information.
It is, and we have the last administration of the California as a state, that data, and so we thought about potentially putting that out in our next Glendora connection with our GUSD results and also the California state as a whole, just comparatively.
Okay.
What we looked at tonight, we didn't delve into the individual schools. We looked at GUSD as a whole.
Right.
But yes, that'll be available on our website soon.
Okay, thank you very much. Important information.
Yes, so we know that the design of the late start, the 8:30 start for high school, for secondary schools, was intentional by the legislators to get kids doing homework after 10 o'clock p.m. because of the research done on brain science. So it was, and actually in talking to some legislators, they said that's the whole intention of this late start, is that kids will be doing homework later. So they'll be going to bed later, therefore they will need to start school later, which is not happening at all. Kids are staying up later doing homework because they have their extracurriculars, their athletics, all the stuff they're doing. and they're still getting up early in the morning to go to class, in those instances where we do have zero period. The kid says that the 8:30 late start has not changed their lives. In fact, it has negatively impacted students' lives because they now have to take classes later in the day, which impacts them going to athletic events and any other extracurriculars. So now they're missing class more. So that's something that I think we need to start thinking about as because we can't count minutes for zero period. Any class that starts before 8:30. So that was intentional. So I know that is something where people are going, oh my God, kids are going to bed really late. But that's a function that was supposed to happen. And our kids were taking zero periods and they were going to, it hasn't changed anything with the kids' habits at all. And kids will tell you that all the time. But thank you for the report. There's a lot of good information here. Hopefully our community gets to see it and react to it a little bit. But yeah, it's just, there's a lot of work that needs to be done to help our kids. And a lot of it is, how much homework do we really need for kids if we have time during the period to get our stuff done? So.
Thank you, ladies, for this presentation. I was looking forward to hearing from it, and I remember going through that process of the opt-in, opt-out for the sixth graders to kind of avoid some of the language that maybe we felt was a little too much for the younger kids. So I'm glad that we were still able to get a good response from the ones that had to opt out if they didn't want to take the survey. Grateful that this data is being used. We need data, right? In order to make this policy and really implement things that are servicing our students, we need to have real data. So this helps with that. So I appreciate it. As a mother of 3 and 2 teenagers currently, I feel, and I'm heavily into this stuff as far as kids and their sleep and social media and all that good stuff. And I'm talking to the parents here as a parent. Get the electronics out of the bedrooms. I'm just going to say it because I think kids are staying up really, really late, and they're on their cell phone, they're on their computers, and not necessarily homework, because they have plenty of time for the homework. It's the socializing on, the doom scrolling situation. So, unless you're really keeping an eye on your kid, I bet if parents really did an analysis of the use of their electronics, they'd realize exactly what their kids are doing past 10 o'clock at night. My daughter charges her phone downstairs. I hope she doesn't watch this meeting. She charges her phone downstairs, and when she comes down in the morning and looks at her phone, sometimes she's got more than 300 messages from friends that have their phones in their rooms and are able to be text messaging. And then she's like catching up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I know they're staying up, not necessarily doing homework. And then the whole breakfast thing, it breaks my heart that our kids are not, 28% of 7th graders, and these numbers are staggering. And yes, you're right. I remember helping out in the classroom, and I'll never forget this because I went down to help a little girl, and her tummy was like rumbling. And I was like, did you not have breakfast? And it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, and she's starving. And, they can't focus. They really can't focus, which you alluded to this. And, I know parents are very busy. And, I know as a school, as a district, we have the free meals. Like, how do we get our kids to, I know my nephew went to LAUSD, and they went as far as providing meals in the classroom, where it was like that much of a problem where they had to feed the kids in the classroom. It was part of and sometimes when you see how it's affecting their education, you kind of have to make those drastic changes. Some people will be like, well, that's not the school's responsibility, that's the parents. Well, yeah, but when parents can't, or this is a problem to their education, that's where we come in, and we have to find alternative solutions to kind of at least assist or provide options with the free breakfast. So I would like to see how this data is going to guide some programs or some solutions, because now we have the data. How are we going to use this? What are we going to do? How are we going to help for the breakfast? What's next, right? What do we do with this data, and how are we going to use it to really see some kind of improvement in our students, when we test them next year, when we survey them next year, and see that there's some improvement. So if you already have some ideas, I'd love to hear them. If not, as they come to you, we would love to hear a report as to what ideas came out of this data.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Well,
Mrs. Garcia took all my things, because that was exactly, like, what, no, it's fine. Because I was thinking, well, we've got this data, what are we gonna do with it? How, I don't know how you can get kids to bed any earlier. You can't go to their house, so, you know, and, yeah, could try that. But I like what you said about the phones. I know that when I'm on my phone reading before I go to bed, I do have a harder time going to sleep. That blue light really does bug me, so I just need to stop doing that and just put it aside and turn it off so I can't hear it either. I don't get that many texts at night. And you know, I'm back in the old days. I was in the dorm going to bed at 10 o'clock. Would y'all please be quiet? Anyway, I like to sleep. So I see all this and the thoughts of sadness and hopelessness. I know that we have a lot of mental health. We have support for that too, but it makes me sad that these kids are experiencing this now. And I wonder if this is breakfast and not getting enough sleep, too much social media and thoughts, and the sadness and hopelessness, if they all go together. But good luck. Let us know. It's all right. Yeah, good luck. But thank you. Thank you for all this information, and I'm very grateful that we do this survey, and just hope that we can use this information, this data that we have, to help improve their lives. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. I think I'm mixed on it. I like to make data-driven decisions from this, and unfortunately for us, most of these grows are outside of our scope of influence from a standpoint of when you go to bed, who feeds you in the morning, and a lot of these things are, I'm hoping the parents pay attention to the data. And then I don't know what else a school district can do. We offer breakfast to every student as they come onto campus. Maybe we need to beef that up, I don't know. But I do think that I'm hoping, I haven't looked at the whole survey. These are just little pieces of it, and I know there's interconnectedness with some of the other responses. But if you know, 7 out of 10 people in high school are going to bed after 11, and I heard you say it goes on and on from midnight to 1 or 2. You know, those are things that we have to work on and allow people at school to be able to talk about that if they want to.
And Mr. Clifford, that's probably when they don't get breakfast, because they sleep too late and they get to school and it's done.
There's a lot of interconnected things that are responsibilities that we can only measure and try to help the most we can while we're trying to focus on academics. So I'm happy to see the results of this. I probably will dive into the entire survey, but when it comes to feeding students and you know, the alcohol and drug use and those things are really important to monitor. But I think the grows that you've identified are things that we need to reach out to and communicate to parents, and not make it where parents have to go find the data, where we can present, hey, we have concerns. Look at 7 out of 10 high schoolers are saying this, and I think what Monica said would hold to be true. I can only reflect on my own experiences, what my own family did, and some of these things are different now than they were then. And with the electronic media, with making sure that everybody had something in their mouth and stomach before they went to school. So hopefully we're going to be able to communicate that to people that are busy and may not be able to click the link. But I appreciate the data and the presentation. Thank you.
Definitely, the report is it's lengthy, but it is well worth it. So perhaps when we put it out next month, we can find some ways to kind of slim it down so that it's more digestible for families.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
We could also do a few social media posts with just the key information. Hey, high school families, did you know? And provide a little of that. And do you know where you can find more information?
Yeah, I just think
there.
that's important. You know, for the data being what it is, it's just telling us is one thing, trying to get that number down. But then don't survey me when I go to bed, because I'd go at 8 if I could. But anyway.
Thank you.
Dr. Prince, thank you for mentioning that, because I think that is important, and it's important to meet parents where they are as well. And finding different ways of communicating that information. Sure, the link being available is extremely important, but also finding other ways to communicate those results so that they see how their kids are being impacted by, you know, I know there was a comment earlier about the excessive messages about attendance, but the reality is that not everyone's getting the message, even though we're harping on it and we're sending messages and we're sending the letters. There's still parents that don't understand the importance of attendance and that correlation between their education and what they're missing out. So it is important. Yes, sometimes it's excessive, but it's important to continue to communicate that information. And in this case, some of these data points are extremely important, that we find a way to, if it's a home life thing that, you know, we can't policy-wise or, you know, educators can't do anything about, that we find ways to support parents in these things, because at the end of the day, our obligation and responsibility is to our students, and if it's communicating with their parents that's going to be the support for them, then that's what we need to do. So thank you for saying that.
Yep, all done? Okay, thank you again. All right, the next, we have 7 items under discussion action items. First one is 6.1. What I'm going to ask for each one of those items is we're going to have a presentation from a staff member or not. If we have the presentation, we'll listen to the presentation, and after the presentation, if the board wants to have a discussion, we'll have a motion, then we'll have a second, and then we'll discuss it. So the first item is a 6.1, approval of the initial joint sunshine proposal for negotiations between the Glendora Teachers Association, GTA, and the Glendora Unified School District, GUSD, for 2024-25, as presented by staff. Please
All right,
present.
thank you, President Clifford. I'd like to invite Mr. Granquist up to the podium as well. As we worked on our joint proposal for negotiations, the following articles are going to be reopened or sunshined: calendar, class size, fringe and benefits, leaves, and salary. The Glendora Teachers Association and the district are looking forward to working alongside one another to address these articles in the collective bargaining agreement. Additionally, the teams will work to discuss any needed revisions to the agreement due to recent changes in legislative or ed code changes.
Glendora Teachers Association and the district affirm their commitment to a positive and productive negotiation process that focuses on the improvement of services delivered to our students and our support for and commitment to our dedicated teachers. And the teams aim to work together to reach a fair settlement in a continued atmosphere of mutual respect, trust, and cooperation.
We continue to appreciate the hard work of all of our certificated bargaining unit members. The collaboration that we have as a union and a district is stronger than ever, and we're thankful for not only their hard work that they do every day, because we know that it impacts our students in a very real way. So with that, we thank you for considering our joint proposal for sunshining. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other presentation, or is that it?
That's it.
All right, I'll turn it back to the board. Is there a motion?
I move approval of the initial joint sunshine proposal for negotiations between the Glendora Teachers Association and Glendora Unified School District for 2024-2025 as presented.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay. Was that discussion? No? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is there any opposition? Congratulations. We look forward to good things there. Thank you. The second item is to approve or ratify the adoption of Los Angeles County's plan for expelled students as presented. Do we have a presentation for this?
No formal presentation, but basically this is a plan that gets updated and renewed by LA County Office of Education every 3 years. And it basically addresses how districts can and should provide education to students who are in an expulsion.
Thank you. May I have a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second for 6.2. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? All right, that moves us to 6.3 to rescind approval of the contract for ABM Building Solutions LLC to provide design build services for the CalShape HVAC and ventilation project. Is there a presentation?
No presentation, but just some information. So back in November of 2023, we issued a request for qualifications or proposal to seek services for the design build related to the CalShape Phase 1 program. We had 2 qualified responses, one being ABM Building Solutions, and then the second vendor, Verigy. The contract was awarded to ABM. However, recently they rescinded their contract, so we have to move forward and award the new contract to Verigy so we can move forward with the completion of the project. And that is related to the consent item 6.4, which is the approval of contract for Verigy Pacific LLC.
Thank you. We'll take that presentation for 6.3 and 6.4. Can I have a motion for 6.3, please?
I motion to approve 6.3.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I just have a quick question as far as you mentioned that it was November that we approved the contract for ABM Building Solutions. It's now April, and we're having to move the services over to Verigy that we'll get to approving here in a moment. My concern is that this HVAC and ventilation project is very important to Glendora Unified School District. Have we lost any time? Have we lost any ground as far as the services that either were or were not provided by ABM that Verigy is going to have to make up for?
Yes, we did lose some time, but however, Verigy is ready to step up to complete the project. And also there's been some words that the Energy Commission will be extending the deadline to submit the CalShape Phase 1 project, and that's also due to the things going on within the department, such as updating the template, freezing it, and districts and their contracted vendor were not able to submit any of the submissions for like over 4 to 6 weeks.
And so as we submit this later, whether or not they move the deadline for submission, whatever the case might be, once the deadline is established and all the school districts have submitted their applications as far as this is concerned, is it your understanding that all applications are considered at the same time, or is it first come, first serve? So if we're running a little behind due to this little bit of work slowdown or whatever you want to call it, is it going to be detrimental to us as far as our application is concerned?
No, from our understanding, all the applications will be looked at once the deadline submission is reached.
Okay. Those are all the questions I have.
I have one more, actually. Once we approve Verigy and Verigy's ready to go, but the deadline is moved, you had mentioned possibly 6 to 18 months out, are we going to now delay this work, or are we just going to get on it even if it's, the application process is not for another 6 to 18 months?
Our goal is to get this completed as soon as possible. We're going to have a kickoff meeting with Verigy this week, and even though the deadline is moved to 6 months or later, we are still moving forward as if the deadline is in a couple of months.
Okay, so we're not going to delay our work just because.
No,
okay,
because we want to get everything updated with the CO2 monitors and other things like that.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so we have a motion and a second for 6.3. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? All right, we'll move to 6.4. We already had the presentation. Can I have a motion for approval?
Move approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Nope. All right, thank you very much. That moves us to 6.5 through 6.7. We have 3 resolutions. The first resolution is a recommendation from the Board of Education recognizing May 6th through 12th as California Teachers Appreciation Week and May 8th as California Day of the Teacher. Who is reading that resolution?
That's me.
Okay.
Do I need to move approval for it? Or do we read the resolution first? Okay. Okay, it is my pleasure. Whereas the Glendora Unified School District Board of Education recognizes that Glendora USD teachers are leaders when it comes to their contributions to innovative school improvement, and whereas the Board of Education recognizes the tireless dedication of our teachers. who give their time far beyond the school day to prepare outstanding lessons, collaborate with colleagues, assess student work, provide feedback to our students, and provide our students with the encouragement, support, and care they need to thrive. And whereas the Board of Education recognizes that our teachers have helped to produce the thinkers, scientists, artists, inventors, technicians, and engineers who have led our state to become one of the largest economies in the world. And whereas the Board of Education admires our teachers who are continuous learners and add to their own education by completing advanced degrees, coursework, and professional development throughout their careers. And whereas the Board of Education appreciates our teachers who strive to create a learning community that facilitates each student's academic and social emotional growth. And whereas the theme of the Day of the Teacher, California Educators United for Our Students, therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Glendora Unified School District hereby recognizes May 6th through 12th, 2024 as Teacher Appreciation Week and honors the contributions of the certificated employees and proclaims May 8th, 2024 to be California Day of the Teacher.
Go ahead.
I move approval of this motion, please.
We have a motion for approval. Is there a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. We'll move to 6.6, which is a recommendation from the Board of Education to adopt a resolution declaring the week of May 19 through 25, 2024 as Classified School Employee Week. Who is reading that resolution?
That'd be me. Okay, Empowering Generations. The third full week of May, 19th through the 25th, has been designated as Classified School Employee Week in California by the California School Employees Association and the California State Legislature. Whereas classified professionals provide valuable services to the schools and students of the Glendora Unified School District, and whereas classified employees contribute to the establishment and promotion of a positive instructional environment, and whereas classified employees serve a vital role in providing for the welfare and safety of Glendora Unified School District students, and whereas classified employees of the Glendora Unified School District strive for excellence in all areas relative to the educational community. Therefore, be it resolved that the Glendora Unified School District hereby recognizes and wishes to honor the contribution of the classified professionals to quality education in the state of California and in the Glendora Unified School District, and declares the week of May 19th through the 25th, 2024 as Classified School Employee Week in the Glendora Unified School District.
Do you have a motion?
Oh, I motion to approve
Is
this
there a second?
resolution.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. The next item is 6.7, which is a recommendation from the Board of Education to adopt May 6th through 12th, 2024 as School Health Services Week and May 8th, 2024 as National School Nurse Day. Who is going to read that resolution?
I am.
Go right ahead.
Okay. Whereas the education of today's children and youth extend beyond the classroom environment to prepare them for a healthy future, and whereas we entrust to school nurses and school health clerks with the responsibility to provide our students with the guidance to develop awareness and understanding of good health practices required to reach their highest personal potential, and whereas school nurses are professional nurses that advance the well-being, academic success, and lifelong achievements of all students by serving on the front lines and providing a critical safety net for our nation's most fragile children. And whereas school nurses and school health clerks have served a critical role in improving public health and in ensuring students' academic success for more than 120 years. And whereas school nurses and school health clerks understand the link between health and learning and are in a position to make a positive difference for children every day. Therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education establish May 6th through the 12th, 2024 as School Health Services Appreciation Week and May 8th, 2024 as National School Nurse Day, and all citizens are urged to participate in the observance and that express their appreciation for school nurses and health clerks. I move approval.
We have a motion. Is there a second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Those three resolutions are adopted. That moves us to item 7, which is the consent item, where all of the items from 8.1 through 11.3 can be approved with one vote unless somebody on the board wants to pull one. May I have a motion?
I move that we approve all of them.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? All right, that takes us to the very last item of the night, which is adjournment. It's 8:39. This meeting is adjourned.